You fucking... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the caravan has stopped. Today, we are talking a legendary DC movie that has been years in the making. That's right, we're going to talk The Flash.
And welcome to our first time with video.
I know, this is crazy.
Stop right there. I'm in.
You are?
Yeah, I need friends.
What did you think? Where do you want to start with this?
This is a very mixed bag of a film, and you can tell it went through development hell. It had so many hands on the project that the tone's all over the place.
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to come out in 2019?
Originally, yes. This is kind of like one of the last films under the old DC flagship to be released.
Yeah, it definitely had share of controversies. Ezra Miller is a goddamn crazy person.
I think it was kind of reflected in the marketing. They weren't really pushing their lead so much. More so they marketed Batman.
Yeah, which is always DC's scapegoat. And it is crazy there was so much controversy and some people didn't want to see this movie because of this guy. And he's in it twice. He is in it, the two of him, the entire time.
So we've got Barry Allen, who desperately needs like a breakfast burrito or some shit.
I do like that starting scene where he's going to get coffee and he's just starving. Because as it shows, the Flash losing thousands of calories with every sprint. It makes sense that he's just so hungry and just starved.
I do find it really funny. One, when he caught the service dog, the whole baby in the microwave, that was very funny. Mm-hmm. I did also find it absolutely hilarious where he's like reaching for the baby, he just goes right past it and just shoves his face full of like vending machine snacks. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Let's jump into this multiverse, because we need to explain... I need an explanation of how this multiverse of spaghetti works.
If you have noodles, the whole point is, instead of him time traveling, they're saying that he's essentially jumping to different parallel universes and possibly creating them. Because when he changes one fixed instant in time, he's not only changing the future outcome, he's actually changing the past.
He can move so fast that he can time travel. So when he gets to that past, he is actually in his own past. But it's when he makes the change, his original future either disappears or is just now locked off to him. He could go back in his own timeline. He just can't go back to the original anymore because either it's gone or he just can't have access to it anymore.
I want to hear like a better, I want DC to don't throw spaghetti on the table and tell me to figure it the fuck out.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch!
I appreciate how Barry's kind of reflecting how he's sort of the janitor for the Justice League. That's very in line with his character in the comics, but it's because he's the most useful for saving people and getting them out of a bad situation real quick.
Mm-hmm. No one else can do all that while fighting villains.
Yeah, but it's funny how he takes a backseat while Batman's the one going after the bad guy. The plot of the movie essentially is Barry goes back in time to save his mom from getting murdered, which, by the way, we never learn who killed the mom in the first place. Never learn it the whole movie.
There's nothing I hate more. At the end of a superhero movie, you find a big, dumb, gray villain. I hate the idea. It happened again, only he had a splash of purple.
The future self of his alternate version goes back in time and pushes him into the other timeline.
Try to wrap your head around that.
How does this dude successfully give his alternate self superpowers, but also manages to fuck up and lose his own?
He was struck by plot, let's be honest. Because it doesn't make any sense. Let's look at this cinematically. It gives Barry a chance to slow down, think, and understand what's going on, as well as teach his younger self how to be a superhero.
They kind of give Flash a little more backstory, particularly connecting him to Man of Steel. They show that flashback of him like on the day of the incident, saving that kid, and it's like one of his first outings as Flash. I liked that scene. I thought that was very well done.
Now run, Barry, run!
What did you think of Supergirl, by the way?
Fucking sexy. Best Supergirl we've gotten so far.
Pretty fine looking cryptid.
You can't use it now. Now we're forced to use this. From now on, the Kryptonians are Crips.
Well, I really liked the rage moment. She just goes nuts, dude. That was satisfying to watch.
Yes, it was. She really put the smack on him.
Zod has always been, like, you know, one of the best parts of the DCEU for me, like, in terms of, like, their characters. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a very strong villain to start with.
Even, like, emotionally in the way he's portraying himself. Because when he talked about how they had to get rid of the baby, he was not happy about that.
No, he is a very much like what I do is for the greater good kind of guy.
Waldo? Waldo?
Waldo?
Waldo! Where's Waldo?
I will find him!
We've been kind of dancing around him for a bit. Let's talk about Michael Keaton's return as Batman. I like how this Batman is still kind of jokey, because that is in line with the character from the old Tim Burton movies. Mm-hmm. You know, he would kind of like do one-liners or quips.
They actually made him look very, very good, like as an action hero there.
I didn't think the action was well done. Like, even the Flash's action, like when he's doing like the electric shocks, like the Palpatine hands, as he says.
Yeah.
The little gang symbols of the Crips.
I've got one more thing to say, and it'll only take me a second. I've got 2 words that I want you all to remember. They're very important. And if I leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
Let's talk about, that final action scene where all the Kryptonians are landing, they're going at it. First, I love how all it takes for Kara to switch sides is for her to see them just kill humans. I did think that was a little weird because she should have absolutely no loyalty to humans.
I liked how they kind of explained that. They went in and she said, Zod's not my people, but Zod's Kryptonian, but he's not my people, he's bad.
There were way too many Kryptonian soldiers. Because if you think about it, just one of them practically is enough to destroy the planet.
There was a lot more than was in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I was like, where did all these guys come from?
Didn't your planet explode?
So the movie ends with Flash realizing he has to, undo what he did. And he thinks he's, correct the timeline, everything's back to normal. But then George Clooney walks in.
Yeah, Bat Clooney.
Yeah, the most infamous Batman, probably. I want to jump in here. The cameos in this movie were overhyped. Pretty lackluster.
Wonder Woman? Out of nowhere?
Sell the movie, sell the movie, sell the movie.
Nick Cage's Superman. Mm-hmm. That was the only one that got me excited. The reason being, Nick Cage was supposed to play Superman at one point. He was attached to a project in the early 2000s called Superman Lives, and he was going to go the full long hair, 80s mullet Superman, and I think they were kind of going to do the Death and Return of Superman storyline. The only cool cameo, because the other ones are just like comped in digitally,
Yeah, like Christopher Reeves as Superman.
Yeah, I'm like, that's lazy and kind of distasteful, if you ask me. I think I'd give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's got some entertaining moments, some fun concepts, some fun characters. It's an enjoyable mess, but timeline multiverse rules that really don't make sense, and kind of a messy, rushed plot that you can tell was kind of cobbled together by all kinds of different hands.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Thought it was goofy and fun enough to, be worth watching and to enjoy. If you don't think, it's a great movie.
And I really like this movie, but overall the structure was just too all over the place, so I think I'd share Joe with a 7 out of 10.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please smash that like button.
We'll catch you next time.
Tune in next time. Yes.
Make your own future.
That is make whoopee.
Oh, make whoopee.
Ah!